Hello everybody and welcome back to Adobe Live, and in particular welcome back at How to Graphic Design. I'm so excited to see you here, so thank you so much for joining me. I can see Biolan in the chat, Cody Bear, thank you so much for joining me. Rick Adams, Carrie, thank you so much. So Anthony's saying love the new opening. Yes, me too, although I'm not used with the time. It was a little bit more faster, but we are here. I absolutely love it. I don't know who's done it, but I think it's absolutely amazing. Anyway, welcome back here at Adobe Live. As I said, we are starting a brand new episode of How to Graphic Design. Today, we're going to be focusing on designing a project for Behance in order to get your work noticed. So I'm going to show you how to implement videos, how to implement animations. I'm also going to use this time to refer to previous videos and previous episodes of How To that we have been working on, and also other Adobe Live shows, so you can really get practicing your skills in different apps. We're going to be working in Illustrator and Photoshop. Let me know in the chat if you want any particular tips to create your Behance project. As I say, this is the place where you can get your work noticed, making sure that everything looks nice and smart and people are going to call back and reach out in order to hire you and work with you. So let me know in the chat again on Behance. We're streaming both on YouTube and Behance. You're welcome in both places, but the chat that I'm reading, so if you have a question, jump on Behance.net/live. That is the place where I can see your comments. Also, let me know where you're watching from. I'm always super excited about our international community, but it's time to get started. You're getting an echo. Let's see if we jump up in here. Probably should be a little bit better. Let me know what's going on. If you still get the echo in here, let me know in the chat what is the audio looking like. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna go back here and start with the template. So if you can see here on the template, you can right away jump on my website, which is imcladi.com. Everybody's saying better? Let me know. So if you jump on my website, imcladi.com, you will be able to work together by downloading the Illustrator template, which has the sizes for you to create your project. So you can, sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Yes, so it looks like I fixed now the scene, but I need to have a look at my intro as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for letting me know. Perfect. So here, if you head to imcladi.com/freebies, that is my website where you can find a ton of free content, usually related to the episode of How To and other Adobe Lives as well. So that one in particular for this stream is the one that you can find here. Get the template. If you click on it, you will find an Illustrator file ready to be downloaded. You can place it anywhere you want in your machine. And it will download, as you can see, is a .ait file. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Let me know in the chat if you know what a .ait file is. We're going to explore it in a second. In the meantime, I'm going to open in my Finder, and then I'm going to drag it, or you can also simply double click on it in order to open it up. And that's how the file looks like. So we have a first artboard, which is the artboard for the Behance thumbnail cover. If we click on it, you can see that the dimension is 808 pixels by 632 pixels, while when we work on an actual project, so the place where we're gonna be starting to put our assets together, we can go ahead and see that the size is 1400 pixels by infinity. That means that the size in terms of width for your project has to be 1400 pixels. You can take note or simply download the project. That's exactly why I've done the project with you and for you, so you can just simply download it right away. Chavi said Illustrator template, yes, absolutely. Steve, Becca also is saying template files, correct. So .ait is a template file. That means that every time, I don't know if you noticed here, that we're gonna open up this project, so this file is gonna show us as an untitled document. The beauty of working with templates is, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you again. So if I head here into my Finder where I have downloaded the file and I open it up again, instead of opening the same file, it's going to open up a new one. In this case, this is going to be Untitled 3. The previous one was Untitled 2. So the beauty of working with templates is that allows you to use the same size, the same artboard, and keep them there, keep the original file safe, but at the same time you can start editing it. You can start, use it for any other single project that you want. In this case, it's so useful. So you can create as many projects as you want for Behance, and you already have the sizes, so you don't have to set up the document over and over again. And then you can save it. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and save by pressing Command S. In this case, we're going to save it on my computer. I'm going to call it Adobe Live Project. And that's when you're actually creating a specific file. So the template just opens a brand new document with certain specifications. And it's so cool. I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to click Save in order to save this document, and then click on OK. I just place it on my desktop. I'm just going to go ahead and just do something here, like add a rectangle and just give it a color just like so. And now save it. So what I want to show you, there is a very quick way in which you can transform any project into a template. So I'm just going to go ahead and press Command or Control W in order to close this document. As you've seen, I've actually saved it into my screen. Let me see. Where did I put it there? I think that I saved it into my desktop. That's a template. Here it is. So Adobe Live Project. So I couldn't see it. Here it is. Now, in order to transform this project into a template, remember, it's the one with the blue artwork. All you have to do is to click on the extension, so the .ai, and simply add a T. So .ait. Once you do so, your computer is going to ask if you want to change these extensions. I'm just going to say yes. Now that I double click and I open this document, what it's going to do is open up a document, which is another untitled. So as you can see, even if I save the name, it's going to open another untitled. And in this case, we do not want to watch Illustrator beta. So a new untitled document with whatever are the object or sizes or artboard that you've saved in your template. I hope that that's clear for you. You can always go back if you do not wish a document to use a document as a template. You can always go back and edit again the extension. In this case, we can just use it as a .ai, which is an Illustrator file, and we can open it. But remember, whenever you're going to make changes to this document and save it, this is going to be an actual file. So whatever change is going to stay within the document. While if you have a template, you can always go back and create and start from scratch. Question for Kladi. If we add brushes and swatches to a template, will those brushes and swatches be there whenever you use a template? I don't believe so. I think that the swatches are part of the actual workspace. So just give me a second, because I think that Illustrator beta is opening up and we just want to close it. So it's looking for my Wacom tablet. Let's go ahead and quit this Illustrator and make sure that we just one Illustrator is enough for a stream. Yeah, so perfect. Yes, Carrie's saying similar as Photoshop, save a PSDT. Exactly, correct. Regarding the actual tools, you can use the workspace. So here you have workspaces that you can save, and in this case you can bring it back and reset it every time. You can just simply rearrange and add as many different assets as you want, create a new workspace. But I'll definitely get back to you, Bliss, if you send me a DM on Instagram or a message on LinkedIn. Those are the two places, because I know that many of you messaging me here on Behance. I have a ton. We're probably going to go, I think I have like over 100 messages that I have to reply to. Instagram and LinkedIn are the place where I am more active. So if you have any questions or maybe you want to discuss that more, please just hit me up on Instagram. It's @IamKladi, and I will be able to help you there. Perfect. So you guys have access to this free template. You can jump on and work with me right away. You can use this hour together. If you have a project in particular that you wish to transform into a Behance project and show off, you can simply open this template and work with me. Now, the project in particular that I wanted to work on and I wanted to display, I never have time to display it, are these stickers that I've created during Pride Week or Pride Month at Adobe Live. So I was very happy to be there with Val, and what we did, we created all these different stickers. Again, if you want, there are 2 days show replay. I'm going to add it to my website, but if you look on YouTube and you just type how to create a sticker Adobe Live, you will be able to see This is the stream in which me and Val have a lot of fun while we create each single one of these stickers. So of course, the first step is to have the Behance project with the right size. So 808 by 632 for the thumbnail or cover for the project. Then we have the 1400 width by infinite height, because we can go, you know, as deep as we want in terms of adding project. And then of course you need to have assets. Now, when we talk about assets, so as I said, I've created this during the stream. So those are the actually some animated content. So if you want to go and have a look, it's actually quite fun. It shows you how to create stickers for Instagram and also how to animate them. And we're going to see those during this stream as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you those are the assets that I have. But before jumping in from a document to another, the first thing that I'm going to do, so I have my assets, I have my template ready to go with my correct size for Behance. The third thing that I'm going to do is to actually create a library that is going to hold my assets in one place. So my graphics, my images, my text, and for example, some colors or text. Sorry, I was reading the chat every time I get. We have a question. Where can get Kladi means where to install this. I don't know. I don't understand the question. Also, don't understand who asked the question. Looks like there is a no name. Jack, if you can help me. Cody, if you guys can help me, that would be so good. If you guys are talking about the template that I was sharing, that is on my website, iamkladi.com/freebies. That is the place in which you can find the template that I've been talking about. So iamkladi.com is my website. Once you land here, you can go to resources and freebies and find a lot of freebies. The one for today is get the template. Brilliant. So once we're here with template open, we jump into the whatever project it is. I remember you can do these in Photoshop, in Illustrator, InDesign. So we're going to go ahead and open the libraries panel. If you do not see the libraries panel in your workspace, you can click and choose the window menu at the top and then make sure that you bring up any panel that you wish to use for your project. So in this case, libraries is the one that I'm looking for. And then here, I'm going to create a bespoke library for this project. So go ahead and click on create new library to open this folder that will allow you to host on an Adobe server all the assets, and you can group them, you can save them, you can organize them, and you can share them and open them anywhere in different apps. Super useful. You see in this project, we're going to jump in between Illustrator and Photoshop quite a lot. We're going to use the same color palette, so this is going to be absolutely a wonderful time saver. Libraries are absolutely amazing. We can edit files. There is so much wonderful work. So let's keep going, because I'm really excited to show you all the things regarding this project. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one Behance Adobe Live, and then simply click on create in order to create this new library. There are different things that you can do. You can simply go ahead and click and drag in order to add a specific project. So in this case, I have this little object over here. I'm not too happy about this black border, because I know that I'm actually going to change it during the actual stream. Let's see if we can get rid of the border here. I just want a white border there. Perfect. So get whatever object you want, and then make sure that your library is open, and then simply drag it inside your library. And then you can do the same with any sort of object here. So I'm just going to go ahead and simply drag each single one of these assets inside my library. Again, if you're wondering where the assets come from, how you can make them, the answer is go and watch the Adobe Live with Val. You can simply type how to create a stickers Kladi, which is my name, and Adobe Live, or sticker Kladi Adobe Live, and it will jump on YouTube right away. I'm also going to add it into my website, so you will be able to see it there. Then you can add the little things like decoration items, like these little stars. I think it's always really cute to have these sort of elements. And as you can see, what I'm doing here by clicking and dragging it, I'm literally populating the library with these different elements. Another thing that I want to do is to bring the color theme. So what I'm going to do here is to click and drag over my object. Now also make sure that all the layers and all the object inside the layers are unlocked. So it looks like here I didn't select the background, but here we go. Now it's selected. And then if we head to the window menu and we bring up our swatches panel, it looks like I already have it open it right here. And we click on this little folder icon right there. Let me zoom in so you can see the icon. You can literally, once you select your art, lift the color palette from the selected artwork, which is what we want for this particular project. So once we're going to move into our new document, remember the template with the right size for Behance. For those of you that are joining us now, you can download that from my website, iamkladi.com/freebies. We can go ahead and name this one Behance Adobe Live, just to keep everything consistent. Make sure the selected artwork is there ticked, and then click on OK. And you will see that we have these color palettes that are ready for us to be used in the swatches panel. Now, if you want to import these colors inside the libraries, we will have to split, I believe, in 4 different palette colors. So we can go ahead and I'm just going to call it B Adobe Live to just be quick. 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a couple folders here, just with the same assets, and 3. And then what I'm going to do is just going to delete some of this color, just to make sure that I have, I don't remember if it's 5 or 4. We're going to try that in just a second. So as you can see what I've done here, I'm just going to delete some of the color from my library. And by doing so, I just make the number of colors just smaller, because what I want to do here is to right click or simply select it and then click on this little icon located at the bottom of the swatches panel. And look what happened when your library is selected and you click on this icon here, that particular swatches are automatically moved inside your library. Here they are. I think there is a limit. Let me just go ahead and add one more over there, because I believe that you can add up to 5. I don't remember if it's 5 or 4. Yeah, I think 5 is the limit. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and delete this that we don't need. The rest I think is just black and whites, and we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move the red away so we can also add that to the library. Perfect. So as you can see here, we have created a library which has the assets that we need for our project, also as the color palette. If we add a font, we do not have a specific font for this specific project, but if we did happen to have a font, you can also save the font or any specific shape. Perfect. Remember, there is another quick way in which you select your artwork and then simply click on the plus icon and then select graphic in order to add the graphic. Also, you can select both, so graphic and colors, simply by clicking add all. Perfect. So now that we are done by starting to grouping together our assets, Carrie saying, I didn't know we could create group of color palettes this way. This is so useful. The template doesn't contain these stickers, but it looks like the stickers are grouped here. Yeah, so just to be completely clear, this artwork, this asset was for Adobe Live. So we created this artwork for Adobe Live. As I said, probably, Jack, if you could just place the link in chat. Otherwise, you can just Google it. Is a create and animate custom instant stickers with Kladi. Honestly, if you just put stickers, Kladi, Adobe Live here on YouTube, the stream will come up. So you will know how to create all the stickers if you're interested in the stickers. That's a 2-day stream that I had on Adobe Live. So you will know how to create and animate those stickers. What you have inside the template is the Behance project. So it's just an empty file, here it is, which has the right dimension to create a cover and a project that will be looking great on Behance. Perfect. Let's keep going. We have a lot going on. If you feel that I'm going too fast, remember this is going to be available on a replay, both on Behance, on the Creative Cloud YouTube account, and on my website. So you will be able to watch these again in your own time if you just want to sit back, have a coffee, and relax while I work. Perfect. So we have our template, we have our assets, we have organized our assets. It's time to make things happen. Now, the beauty of this project and the reason why I decided to show this particular project is because we also had, and by the way, thank you so much, Jack and Cody Bear, for placing the link in chat. I really appreciate it. Now, the beauty of this project is that we had access to videos. So, we actually made both GIFs and moving images in Photoshop. Again, part of that video there. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what we created. So we created these animated stickers that you can literally put on your Instagram. Again, if you go on my Instagram, you've seen it. I've used it in my stories. You literally paste it and copy it and they work. They're a GIF and they just move, and they're made in Illustrator and Photoshop in about an hour. So make sure to go and check it out, because I think that's a really, really cool stream. But how can we showcase this wonderful stuff that we spend time creating on Behance? Right. So I'm going to start by creating something a little bit more complex, because I want to make sure that we don't run out of time, which is a template. Now I have this template, which is a mockup of phone, which I've downloaded from the internet. You can find many on stock.adobe.com. I use Mr. Mockup, which is one of the coolest people that does a group or team that creates mockups. You can find many on Envato Elements. There are different. Oh, I love the rainbows. Send me a heart in the chat. Because I love to see your love here on the chat. Afroya, lovely to see you. Anyway, so as I was saying, here you can download on many of these websites. It's just a simple mockup. I also have videos on how to create a mockup, but that's going to be our starting point. I'm just going to go ahead and show you. This is just an image. And I'm just gonna go ahead and hide this little element. So this is like a common mockup. What you want to make sure here is to fit the right size. So as we said before, the right size for the project for Behance is 1400 pixel wide. Make sure to lock your dimension in order to constrain the dimension, so you can change this dimension and the height will change proportionally to your whatever was initially, so you will not distort the original image. But it's really important to keep that 1400 width, because that will guarantee whenever you open the document on Behance, you have this full screen, which is going to be very useful for what we're going to be creating next. So once you, again, and in order to access this, you can press the Option Command I shortcut. So that will allow you to open the image size pop-up. So again, Option Command I, there will be Alt Control I if you're working on a Windows machine. Again, make sure that this is ticked and then press 1400 so you can resize your image, your mockup. Perfect. Now, in order to place a moving image, as I said, we created this file here. We need to have a MOV file. Now, the reason why we need a MOV file is because we need an animation, and we need also to have this transparent background. How we do export an animation from Photoshop with a transparent background. So first of all, we choose the window menu and bring the timeline panel. If you are interested again on how to make this happen, remember there is a 2-hour stream which is linked in the chat that will show you how to create the actual stickers and how in Illustrator and how to make them move in Photoshop. Once we have created this wonderful animation, we head here into this burger menu or fly out menu, and we select render video. Once we select render video, we have the render video pop-up coming up. Here you want to make sure that you change the format, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see that nice and clear, to QuickTime. And then once we head here to the alpha channel, this is very important. Every time that you're looking for a transparent background, look for alpha channel, and you want to set it to straight unmatted or unmasked. Then simply make sure that you select your folder. In this case, I'm just going to place it on my desktop. I'm going to call it final, and then select render. And you will see that it will just take a second to render it and export the video, and then the video will land wherever we have placed it. In this case, we should have, here it is, our final love portal. I just learned a shortcut to organize all my files. That was really quick. If you're on a Mac, Option Command, I believe is 7, I clicked. But anyway, so here it is. So finallove.mov is going to be the file that we can place inside our mockup. So here, all you have to do is to import your file. So I'm going to double click into my mockup and simply, literally drag in. So I'm just going to drag inside the document my MOV file. Now make sure that you have your timeline panel open, and you will see that the .mov has a transparent background and allows you to contain your file. Now it looks like, if you see here, that we have a little bit of transparent background showing up. Let me show you what is going on. So let me go ahead and pause this timeline. Again, if the timeline is new for you, go back and watch the video. The main thing that you need to understand here is that all the tracks are literally a reflection of the layers. So by bringing that video file, we literally brought it up here. Here it is. And then here we have literally the layers, which are the tracks. So all I need to do is to make sure that we extend in time. So in the timeline here, we extend the background for the entire duration. So we do not have that issue again that was appearing here. Remember, we have that transparent background. Want to make sure that we have that full color that shows up for the entire time. Perfect. Then you can close your mockup here. And once you head back into your phone mockup, you see that if we bring back our timeline, remember, if you add a video and is not moving, is because your timeline is not open. Once you open your timeline and then you press play, you will see your video moving there. By the way, in this case, I'm utilizing the mockup, but you can also, we're going to try it over here. And by the way, you can always work with mockup. So in this case, let's just go ahead and double click on it again, because I think that's a little bit too big. You can resize it as well, just so it fits a little bit more nicely inside the phone. Then press save and close, and it will be automatically updated. But I believe that we could also, and I haven't tried that, so bear with me. I've done the same for my other file. So this was the love portal. Then I have this rainbow, which had all these moving elements. Again, this is part of the sticker streams, which I've already exported as a .mov file. Let's see if we can find it here. That's the love portal. And we have a rainbow moving. Here it is. So I believe that we could actually bring this file directly over here. So in this case, we haven't brought it inside the mockup. So if you do not have a mockup, you have just a picture of a phone, you can literally put the animation there. Now look here, make sure that in the track, you bring these back to the actual origin. So let's go ahead and play this track. That works absolutely fine. So again, if you do not have a full mockup, if you cannot download it, if you just have a photo, you can just place your .mov file inside your mockup, and that will be fine. Then what is important here to do in order to make sure that our project looks super cool when we add mockups and images like that in Photoshop, so then we can adapt it to whatever is going on inside Illustrator, is to add frames. And once I'm going to be done with this, everything is going to make sense. And I love the hearts in the chat. Mahmoud is saying, I made the size of Behance as tall as the infinity. Yes, although I'm going to show you a little trick to make it a little bit more professional. Because it's nice to see those projects that looks beautiful. It looks like just a single page. But my recommendation is to use the template that I provided for you and split it into chunks. So people can actually click on it and they don't have this tiny preview, which is really, really long. I've done that myself. I wasn't too happy with it. So I'm going to show you this way and we can actually build different chunks. Right, so what I was talking about here are to frame. So the reason why I want to frame this image is because I'm introducing colors of the project that I'm going to be creating in Illustrator, so I can stack above and below images that have the same background. So literally this video is going to be part of our long Behance project, and it's just going to flow. Even if it's a separate file created in Photoshop and containing animation, it's still going to be able to flow with the rest of the project. So if you're wondering how I've done that, I've simply used the curvature pen tool, which is located under the pen tool. Simply click and hold on the pen tool on the toolbar. Let me zoom in, it should be right here above my head. Click and hold on the pen tool, then you can select the curvature pen tool, which is a wonderful tool that will allow you to create curved lines. So let me make sure that I bring my playhead to the very top, and then all I do here is to start with a new layer. And I'm gonna get a glass of water, or better a sip of water, and from here you want to make sure that the layer is of the same size. Sorry guys, it's again extremely hot here in Manchester and I don't have AC, so I must drink some water before I'm absolutely melt here. So as I said, we'll create a new layer by clicking on the new layer icon at the bottom of the layer stack. And then here with the curvature pen tool, you can go ahead and simply create anchor point. And as you can see, once you click, is automatically create curves. So that's so easy. Now, don't forget to close your path by returning to the very beginning of the path. You will see that there is a little circle that appears next to your icon. So you can click and the path is closed. Don't worry about whatever is outside the canvas. Then what you want to do is to make sure that from the option bar, you select shape in order to transform your path into a shape. And then because we already saved the color inside our libraries panel, all you have to do is to make sure that you head to the correct libraries panel. Again, if you do not see the libraries panel inside Photoshop, Windows is the place where all the panels live. Make sure that we select our Behance Adobe Live and we have our color palette here. So it's magic. All you have to do is to simply select any color that you wish to use. I'm going to go ahead and select orange or any of these beautiful turquoises here. Literally any color you want, and you will be able to use it as the top. Now, just for the sake of time, basically I've done exactly the same for the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I use the same color so we can do everything consistency here. So again, select, create a path using the curvature pen tool, then make sure that you use the option bar to select shape, and then use your library assets to be consistent with your project so everything is going to work together. Then other thing that you can do here is perhaps to add a background that has maybe a little bit of a color that so it keeps tying together. So what I'm going to do here into the background, again, every time that you create a layer, make sure that you head back into the timeline and everything fits within the same time. So again, click and drag backwards. So here we can go ahead and again, simply create a new layer by creating a solid color. And instead of choosing a color from the color panel, I'm just going to go ahead and use a color from my library. So what you can do as well is to select any of this color here. So you will see that they will fill the foreground color here on Photoshop. Maybe let's do the pink. And then simply use the option and then backspace to apply it. It looks like here it was overriding my phone. I actually quite like it that it doesn't have the... What do you guys think? I actually think it's quite cool that it doesn't have the actual, phone completely showing there. I don't know. What do you think? It just looks like it's a little bit more of a mock-up, but still. But if you want to, you can always apply a layer mask. So again, you can mask out your phone so it shows through. So maybe something like that, nice and simple. If you want to make it a little bit more fancy, you can always use and bring in any of the object that you have created. Again, this is the beauty of working with a library. So we have all sort of projects that are all sort of other items that are part of the project. They're available for you to use. I think I'm kind of happy without. I like it to keep it simple. Now, before I output this one, I'm going to make sure that all the tracks are of the same time. Then if you want, you can press the play or the space bar to play it out and make sure everything moves. Now, in this case, differently from before where we exported a .mov file because we wanted something with a transparent background, in this case, we have two options. One, to export as a video, so an MP4 file, or to export as a GIF. Now, in this case, for your Behance, for what we're creating here, I will export your file as a GIF, and I'll show you in a second why. So I'm just going to go ahead to the File menu and select Export and Save for Web Legacy. And here you will see that automatically will pick up that we have a timeline video. It probably takes a second just because we have a lot going on. And again, if you're wondering what this is just a mockup that I've downloaded from the internet. As I said, again, you can find it from Adobe Stock, Envato, Elements. I use Mr. Mockup a lot, so they also, if you're registered to the mailing list, they give out, I think, monthly or weekly freebies. So it's definitely something that you want to keep your eye for. Perfect. So we know that our animation works, is at GIF, which that's what we want for our Behance profile. And then make sure that we save this file. Again, we can double check here if by any chance you forgot to change the proportions of your asset. This is the place where you can still resize it to make sure that the width is 1400. I'm going to say that a million times, but 1400 is the right size for your Behance project. So 1400 pixels, perfect. Then click on save, and all you're left to do is to select whatever location here. My folder desktop is getting a little messy, so I'm just gonna call it here final Behance Adobe Live assets. Perfect. So I know that in this folder we're just gonna place all the finals that are gonna go inside our project. And then if you want, you can rename your file. I'm just going to leave it like that for now, so it's the mockup, and then select save. You can see it's a .gif file. Once we click on save, it's going to take a second. Again, it's quite a heavy file, and it's going to save it. Now I'm going to jump back into Illustrator when I'm going to use these assets that we created before for displaying other part of the project. But the most important thing is to start with a background that has the same color of one of the top or bottom frame that we used for our animation. So as I said, I'm going to press the letter M in order to create a rectangle, and I'm going to click and drag in order to make sure that this rectangle sits on top of my artboard. And then all I have to do is to head to my libraries and pick one of the two colors that I've selected for my animation. I believe it was orange for the top, and then this purple for the bottom. Now you don't have to worry, because you have saved your assets from your original work and then use it from the libraries into your mockup and into whatever new assets you have created for your project. You can simply click on them and you will see that they will match automatically. This is the beauty of working with organized assets and with your Creative Cloud library. We jump from Illustrator, Photoshop, Illustrator again, and everything is making sense and working just fine. Perfect. So I'm going to select, I think, the purple to start with. And then again, we don't have to go back into our original file, because we also have the asset here that we can display. So we have one of the assets that we have created during the stream. Here it is. All we're left to do is to place it inside our little folder, inside our little artboard there. Again, use the shift key while you click and drag one of the corner of the bounding box in order to reposition it. I feel that we can move the height. Remember, as long as the width is 1400, the height could be whatever you want. So here I'm just gonna place these, making sure from our properties panel that is aligned respectively to the artboard and that is centered horizontally. And then I'm going to use the Shift O, or simply click on the artboard tool, which you can see just right above my head, in order to change the size vertically. Remember, the width is 1400 pixels. We're just changing the height. And we can also move and make our background a little bit smaller. Now we want to also make sure that our artwork is aligned vertically as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use the Option key and click and drag while selecting the artboard to create a copy. In this case, I can get rid of this image and I'm going to use whatever was on the top. And then here we can place anything else. Maybe we can use this Love is Love graphic. Again, click and drag to place it. And then we can align it vertically and horizontally. Perfect. Now, all we're left to do is to start exporting these assets. Maybe we can go ahead and create something for our cover as well. Since we're here, again, letter M to activate the rectangle tool and click and drag to create a background. If you want to work and be very organized, I'm going fast here because I really want to jump into Behance and show you how gorgeous this is going to be. You can use your layers, then create a new layers and you can name it background. And then you can select by pressing the letter V and activating the selection tool and holding the shift key and clicking on the different element that you want to add in the background. Command C to copy, or Control C if you're working on a window machine. Make sure that you select the background layer that you just created, and Command V or Control V, sorry, F to paste it in place. So Command F or Control F to paste it in place. Now remember, the order of the layers inside the layer stack matters. That's why we're going to drag the background to the bottom. So everything that is located inside the background layer is going to display below whatever is into this layer one, which we can also maybe rename graphics. So this is a way of working in a more organized way. We can also lock our background so we are safe to move our graphics there and our background is not going to move. Now, if you want to edit elements, make sure to click on the lock icon in order to unlock it. And for example, here, let's go back to our libraries because we work consistently and we have one of the color from our stream. So everything, look, we have the same color that is showing up here, is showing up here, because we're working professionally. Everything is going to look absolutely amazing. And then you can place whatever you want in here. Maybe the title, maybe an image, maybe a screenshot for the stream probably would be the most appropriate, but I don't have that here at the moment. Maybe we can use an assets from this tree. Let me see. I should probably have an image. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and drop this for now. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop this other artwork, the Portal of Love, in here. And then I'm just going to create a copy and maybe use one of the artwork from today. So let me just go ahead and bring this one, which doesn't have the black outline. Again, make sure that you can align it horizontally and vertically to the center. Use the Shift key and the Option key to resize it proportionally. I think I'm happy for now. All I'm left to do is to perhaps start to exporting. I know that we're going to have a little bit of time, so I want to start to show you how it looks like on Behance. How we can combine this stuff together and why I've done everything that I've done in Photoshop. Then if we have more time, maybe we can create more here. Now, Option Command E, that's Alt Control E if you're working on a Windows machine to open the export for screen. You can select the artboards that you wish to export. Remember, we created a folder specifically for our assets, which was on our desktop, and it was called Final Behance. And then you can choose this folder. Here you can call this one Behance Assets, and then simply click on Export Artboard. You can select your format between PNG, JPEG, that's absolutely up to you. Create subfolders. In this case, I'm happy with my folder, and then open location after exporting and click on Export Artboard. So all these artboard and the GIF that we've created are all 1400 pixels by a different height. It doesn't matter the height, besides the cover, because the cover, as we said, is 808 by 632, so 808 by 632 pixel. Brilliant. It's now time to jump on Behance. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump on Adobe Live, so we're probably gonna see myself for a second. Here we go. Let's go into my profile here, and I'm just going to go ahead and start by sharing my work. So this is the button that you're looking for, share your work, and then click on project to create a complete case study. Once you click on project, you have this work in progress. Now you can select the text. I like flexibility with my own images, so I'm just going to worry about what to put on top at the very end. But what I'm going to do is to start to bring in these images. So simply click on image, head to your folder, and I'm going to click and drag and select all these images that we're looking to export. Now, as you can see, this image here was for the cover, so in fact, we can perhaps remove it. You can click on this little pencil, blue pencil there, in order to edit whatever image you added. In this case, we're going to delete it because, as I said, that was created for just the cover, so of course, it's a different size. Now, if you have this gap in between these two assets, what happened there? You can simply remove it by clicking on styles and making sure that the content spacing is set to 0. And by doing so, we can go ahead and save, and you will see that the images are now the same. Now, I don't know where did these things come from. Let's jump back into my Illustrator file. I must have pasted this from somewhere. Did you guys see them coming up? I really didn't even see them coming up there. Probably they were inside my when I worked with the layers, probably they were inside of my layers. But it looks like we're gonna have to re-export real quick, because otherwise it doesn't make much sense. So again, let's go ahead and re-export this one. Again, once you click on export, it's just gonna replace them, so that's gonna be super quickly. And I'm gonna show you, so if you uploaded the wrong images, again, click on the pencil, select replace image. In this case, I'm gonna replace this one. Perfect. And then again, click on the pencil and replace image, and I'm gonna replace the one with the purple. Perfect. Now, as you can see here, we have our GIF moving, but the most important thing is that we can reorder the project. So what I'm going to do here, let me zoom in so you can see, is to move my phone, which was my Photoshop file that contains an animation and is also animated itself. So we have a .mov file animated. We can go ahead and save this new order. So you see that we have the orange at the top, then we have the orange frame, then we have the mockup with the moving animations, and then we have a frame at the bottom with the color at the bottom. Then click on Save New Order, and let's zoom out and let's have a look at this project. It looks like a seamless page. So that's why I'm advising you to use different chunks so you can interact and have images, you can have video, you can have animation, you can have everything you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on continue for now. Here for the cover, that's the place where we're going to go ahead and implement our cover. We created the perfect cover or the right size. Here it is, ready to go, and make sure that everything looks nice. And we don't need to crop it. We can, as you can see, it fits perfectly because it's the right size. You can start by giving a project. So I'm going to call it Adobe Live stickers with Kladi. We can have project tags. So in this case, it will be Adobe Illustrator. Here we go, Adobe Photoshop, and so on. Now, if you want to be spotted, Illustrator, digital art, whatever you want, vector, and so on. Graphic design, illustration is the one that we've been working on. Visibility for everyone. And the tools used, again, that will be Adobe Illustrator. Oops. I'm so conscious of the time. We're just a few minutes. Adobe Photoshop. Perfect. And all we're left to do is now to either save as a draft or publish. Remember, you can go ahead and add more details here. In just this case, again, I'm aware of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and publish this document. By the way, if you now go to my Behance page, you will be able to see it. We're going to be able to share it anywhere. But what I want to show you is that real quick, literally using the assets of the work. So, of course, if you're looking to display your artwork, you already have some assets. This could be photo. By the way, you can do all of these in Photoshop. Those just could be images that you can frame. All we did is to pick the colors, and as you can see, it looks like one single page. It moves because we have created this GIF in Photoshop, but it looks like one single pager. Now, the beauty of this is that once someone goes and look at the image, they can really focus and see everything that we've done with our photo. So, with our particular project, that the issue that I have, and we can jump in on one of my previous projects, because of course I live and learn myself. So if we go back into one of my previous projects, you can see, I believe is this one over here. Let me think. Or maybe I've done this one in sections as well. No, it looks like I had these in different, no, there it is. So that was the issue that I was talking about. As you can see, once you create one single pages, I remember that, some of you were talking about the fact that it can be an infinity height. Yeah, it can be an infinity height, but look what happens when someone is looking then at your project. Once they click on it, because they have to fit that single image with a very high, large height, they won't be able to really see the details of your project. If by difference you look at this new project here, you can see that once we click on it, we can access, and then we can also browse the different assets one by one. So we can really give time to whoever is watching and reviewing our portfolio and maybe considering working with us to really dive in and appreciate our project. And also what I strongly recommend is to really split your work. You don't necessarily have to chuck everything together. That's great for a cover or maybe for a sum up at the end. But in this case, I would strongly recommend to just give each piece, maybe a photo, whatever. And if you're working with a single image, again, let's see if we can perhaps do this real quick in Illustrator. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to find the thumbnail for this show. I know that we have a few more minutes. So let's see if I jump here, see if I'm organized enough. How to thumbnails, and that will be the thumbnail for today. Perfect. Here, design for Behance. So if I go ahead and bring this image, which is probably not synced with my Dropbox. Let's see if we make us do it. Perfect. This image inside my 1400 background. And I want to make sure that that also fits with my design. So I'm just going to resize it so it fits that 1400 width, just like so. And then I think the bottom one is the purple. So here at the beginning, I'm just going to give it like a purple background, just like so. And again, you can go back and use like I did, you know, maybe the pen tool, the curvature pen tool to make a nice wavy jagged edge. I'm just going to keep it straight for now, just for practicality. And then here I can insert another color from the palette if you want to. Maybe again, we can jump back and bring in this pink, and then simply make our little artboard smaller. You want to make sure that your image sits in the middle. And again, you can bring these back at the back. Maybe here, this is the place where I will add some of these stars. And I love it that everything is consistent. So our artwork also is symmetrical with the design we have and with the actual cover. Perfect. We can have one at the top, just like so. Again, this is just to show you how to introduce photo. And by the way, you can also add frames at the edge. You can create a beautiful illustration and just have the image smaller. So what I'm going to do here is also to export this one. Remember, if you hold the shift key and click on the image, it will just select the specific assets. I'm going to go ahead and export this one. It should be in the right folder. Then head back on Behance. Here we can edit our project. So let's go back and edit project, and selecting on image, we can go back to our folder and select the image, which now has the photo. Again, I could have done more with this photo. Maybe we have time to do so as well. No, I think we have 1 minute. Never mind. And as you can see, again, this becomes part of your project. So everything comes together. And at the very end, if you wish to do so, or at the very beginning, maybe before your project starts, you can also add video or embed video. So if you want to add the video, you can just simply upload it from your file. And that's the reason why I told you and I advise you to add a GIF, because otherwise the video size is different, or you can also embed. So in particular, for this specific case, this is related to this stream. If you're looking, or if you have any video on YouTube that you want to embed, now I believe that share is the place to go. Then select embed here, and all you have to do is to copy this code. Here, again, I simply click on copy. That's probably easier. And then here you can paste the code. So once you click on the little embed, it will give you the space, and then select embed. Perfect. So here we have our project, everything flowing, and also we have the video ready to be played. All you have to do is to click on update project, and is ready to go. And as you can see, you can play while you watch your project. Perfect. I'm just gonna get out of there so you can literally see it back into my profile. By the way, all of this is happening live, so if you click on my profile, you will see the cover, you will recognize it, is there, and you can look at the project. It's a full screen project, allows you to display each single image, and most importantly, we have also introduced photos, and we have introduced video, which you can watch on Behance. And maybe if you enjoyed it, you can give it a like. I really hope you enjoyed this stream. As usual, it's my pleasure to be here with you. I'm always very excited to spend this time together. I will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode of How To. Don't forget that there is a Voodoo Val coming up with a brand new episode of Glow Up. So make sure, Graphic Glow Up, make sure to stay tuned. Unfortunately for me, it's time to say goodbye. I will catch you very soon. Next Tuesday, coming up with How To, Illustrator challenges, and so much more. And also, if you're looking for daily tutorial, you can catch me on my Instagram. But I will see you next week for now. Bye, everybody.